Most people of the world are confused and perplexed by the events and atrocities continually unfolding in Gaza in 2023. How can one nation, Israel, have all the power and weapons and continued backing of Western governments to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian population in Gaza under the banner of reacting to terrorist attacks from Hamas? The Americans and British governments have a lot to answer for their assistance in creating this hell on earth. Welcome to a nuanced exploration of Zionism and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's imperative to embark on a thorough investigation, shedding light on often overlooked or omitted facts. This is a subject rife with strong emotions, prompting a call to scrutinize the conflict from an unbiased perspective. Let's initiate by defining Zionism, a political and ideological movement that surfaced approximately 150 years ago and experienced a resurgence in the late 19th century, spearheaded by early Zionist leaders like Theodor Herzl. Their mission was to establish a Jewish homeland in the Middle East, with Jerusalem, referred to as Zion in the Bible, holding profound significance in the Jewish religion. Delving deeper, DNA evidence from a Jewish population in the Kazakhstan region reveals a significant European influence, particularly from Eastern Europe territories. These DNA samples stretch from the Dnipro River in modern-day Ukraine to the Volga River, bordering Russia to the north, Kazakhstan to the east, and Georgia to the south. Contrary to popular belief, individuals from these DNA samples were not solely direct descendants of ancient Israeli Jews, but rather a mosaic of European, Turkic, Sumerian, Mongolian, and Russian heritage. Historical upheavals dating back to Babylonian and Roman times displaced many Jewish people from their original Middle Eastern homeland. This historical context provides a panoramic view of the complex tapestry of Jewish and modern-day Zionist history at the epicenter of the conflict in present-day Palestine-Israel territories. The Zionist movement, bolstered by international support, witnessed a pivotal moment with the British government's issuance of the Balfour Declaration in 1917. This expression of support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine was a strategic maneuver during World War I, aiming to secure backing from surrounding Arab states for territorial concessions after the fall of the Ottoman Empire. The British and French reneged on their promise to the Arabs, who helped them defeat the Ottoman Empire. Instead, they began to carve up Palestine to hand over to the mostly Zionists. Following this declaration, influential families like the Rothschild family, formerly known as Bauer, played a significant role. As Ashkenazi Jews from Khazarian territories, they settled in Germany in the early 18th century. The Rothschild family supported and helped finance the development of Jewish settlements in Palestine after the Second World War in 1948. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, characterized by the loss of lives and enduring suffering on both sides, is a deeply rooted and ongoing tragedy. Israel's reluctance to embrace UN-recommended treaties has exacerbated the situation. Despite international calls for a peaceful resolution, Israel chooses to take more Palestinian territory over the security of its population. Creating the world's largest prison effectively in Gaza, Israel's disproportionate response to Hamas in Gaza, backed by Western leaders but contested by international populations around the world, is palpable through sustained demonstrations against the loss of innocent Palestinian lives. Western governments, including the United States and the United Kingdom, have consistently supported Israel with military aid. However, the one-sided nature of this support raises probing questions about its impact on the conflict. The aftermath of the 1967 Six-Day War saw Israel's occupation of territories in Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria, intensifying tensions. Despite the United Nations proposing a two-state solution to address territorial disputes, Israel has yet to fully embrace this recommendation. an act no other country in the world would be allowed to continually ignore. Navigating the complexity, evidence suggests that Israel indirectly contributed to the formation of Palestinian organizations like Hamas, aiming to weaken the Palestine liberation movements. The resulting terrorist actions have triggered substantial Israeli retaliation, inflicting immense suffering on both Palestinian and Israeli populations. This conflict extends beyond borders, with neighboring Arab countries, Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Iran rallying behind the Palestinian cause, further complicating the geopolitical landscape and elevating tensions in the region. It's imperative to distinguish between Zionists and ordinary Jews. The majority of Jewish people worldwide do not espouse extremist political views. Conflating Zionism with Judaism fosters misconceptions and stereotypes that hinder understanding. In conclusion, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is an intricately woven tapestry with historical roots that necessitate honest and open dialogue. Let's approach this topic with empathy and advocate for a just resolution that upholds the rights and dignity of both Israeli and Palestinian communities. Rather than the continued genocide Israel continues to inflict on the Palestinian population. If you found this exploration informative and thought-provoking, please consider sharing your comments below.